Members, a quorum is present. Can I ask you to take your desks, please? Members, please make your way to the floor. Members, please make your way to the floor. Thank you, members. Mr. Lee, state your point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are 4 amendments to my bill, AB 1240, related to housing from my colleague from the County of San Diego that are not germane to my bill. The amendments would gut and amend my bill and take over ownership from him. This is in clear violation of Assembly Rule 92, so therefore I request that it is not out of order, or therefore these are not in order.
Assemblymember Lee, Legislative Council has issued an opinion on these amendments. The amendments are in fact not germane to the bill and in clear violation of the House rules. Your point of order is well taken. The amendments are out of order. State your point, Mr. DeMaio.
Mr. Speaker, I appeal the ruling of the chair to ensure that the amendment to
Thank you, Mr. DeMaio. Thank you, Mr. DeMaio. Thank you, Mr. DeMaio. Assemblymember DeMaio has appealed the ruling of the Speaker. This motion requires a second. Is there a second? Ms. Castillo seconds. Under Assembly Rule 82, this appeal is not debatable when relating to indecorum, transgression of the rules, or priority of business, in this case, transgression of the rules. So we will proceed directly to a vote. Members, the question before the body is, shall the decision of the Speaker be sustained? The Speaker is asking for an aye vote. Assemblymember DeMaio is asking for a no vote. Clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Speaker is asking for an aye vote. Assemblymember DeMaio is asking for a no vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Takes a majority of those present voting to sustain the Speaker. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 49, noes 16. The Speaker is sustained. The amendments are out of order. Members, we are now going to the second day consent calendar. This is not a drill. This is the actual consent calendar. Before we vote, we will take up resolutions on the consent calendar for the purpose of adding co-authors. Clerk will read the resolutions on the consent calendar.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 58 by Assemblymember Sharp Collins and others relative to the National Conference of State Legislators. Assembly Concurrent Resolution 70 by Assemblymember Pellerin and others relative to Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Assembly Concurrent Resolution 87 by Assemblymember Quinn relative to amyotrophic lateral sclerosis Awareness Month. And Assembly Concurrent Resolution 88 by Assemblymember Jeff Gonzalez relative to Men's Mental Health Month.
Clerk will now open the roll to allow any member to add on as a co-author to the resolutions. Members, this is for co-authors. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll. There are 62 co-authors added. Moving to a vote on the consent calendar. Does any member wish to remove an item from the consent calendar? Seeing and hearing none, the clerk will read the second day consent calendar.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 58 by Assemblymember Sharp Collins and others relative to the National Conference of State Legislators.
All members vote. Clerk will now open the roll on the consent calendar. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes. Assemblymember Sharp Collins, you are recognized.
I would like to move the call.
Okay. Assemblymember Sharp Collins moves the call on the consent calendar. Okay, we're going to move backwards to our prayer and pledge. We ask our guests and visitors in the rear of the chamber and in the gallery to please stand for our prayer. Reverend Oshta will offer today's prayer. Reverend Oshta.
Please join me in a moment of reflection. I heard a story years ago from my friend Reverend Sanan Kobose. It was about a husband who felt that his wife should get her hearing checked. One day, while passing the kitchen, he saw her busy at the sink. He called out to her, "Can you hear me?" No response. He went closer and said, "Can you hear me?" Again, no answer. Finally, he stood right behind her and said, "Can you hear me?" She answered, "Yes, for the third time, what do you want?" Reverend Kobose said, "This is a great example that sometimes when we don't feel we're being heard, it's because we are the ones unable to hear." In our world today, perhaps more than peace talks, we need more of our leaders to simply listen. The poet Dean Jackson wrote, "Listening is an art that requires attention over talent, spirit over ego, and others over self." Namo Amida Butsu. Let us listen with kindness and gratitude beyond words.
We ask our guests and visitors to remain standing and join us in the flag salute. Assemblymember Flora will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Colleagues, join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
You may be seated. To our guests and visitors today, state law prohibits persons in the gallery from interfering with legislative proceedings or disrupting the orderly conduct of official business. Persons disrupting legislative proceedings are subject to removal, arrest, or other appropriate legal remedies. Reading of the previous day's journal.
Assembly Chamber, Sacramento, Friday, May 23rd, 2025. The Assembly met at 9 a.m. The Honorable Josh Lowenthal, Speaker Pro Tempore of the Assembly presiding. Chief Clerk,
Majority Leader Aguiar Curry moves and Mr. Flores seconds that the reading of the previous day's journal be dispensed with. Presentations and petitions, there are none. Introduction and reference of bills will be deferred. Reports of committees will be deemed read and amendments deemed adopted. Messages from the governor, there are none. Messages from the Senate, there are none. Moving on to motions and resolutions, the absences for the day, there are none. Madam Majority Leader, you are recognized for your procedural motions.
I request unanimous consent to suspend Assembly Rule 118A to allow Assemblymember Bonta to have guests in the rear of the chamber today.
Without objection, such shall be the
At
order.
the request of the author, please move file item 164, AB 568, Lackey, to the inactive file.
Clerk will note. Mr. DeMaio, you are recognized.
I move to take up Assembly Bill 41 without regard to files so that we can consider a bill to reduce the cost of living on Californians. To be considered for...
I understand the motion, sir. Can you give me the bill number, Mr. DeMaio?
Assembly Bill 41.
Assembly Bill 41. Thank you, Mr. DeMaio. Appreciate your patience. This bill has not been read a second time. What you're asking for is a suspension of the Constitution. That requires a second. Seconded by Assemblymember Castillo. Members, Mr. DeMaio will be asking for an aye vote. The Majority Leader is going to be asking for a no vote to suspend the Constitution to wharf AB 41. Clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Mr. DeMaio is asking for an aye vote. The Majority Leader is asking for a no vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 19, noes 48. The motion fails. Members, we have a very important guest introduction. There are going to be multiple speakers on this guest introduction, and so please hold your applause and greetings until all speakers have done. I would like to recognize Assemblymember Bonta for her guest introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm honored today to rise in support of an Oakland icon, my friend, my mentor, the Honorable, now Mayor Barbara Lee. Mayor Lee's story is one of grit, one of determination, one of California. She would serve in this very body from 1990 to 96, then served 2 years in the state Senate before becoming a national figure during the course of her over 25 years representing community in Congress, and brings the voices and values of the East Bay to the halls of power. Her staunch commitment to the peace, to universal health care, to economy for all, Barbara Lee was our voice. She is here today in her role as Oakland's 52nd mayor, and I will always say, as many will, Barbara Lee speaks for me. Let us wish Mayor Lee a successful tenure at the helm of Oakland.
Welcome, Mayor Lee. Assemblymember Wicks, you are recognized for your guest introduction.
Thank you. I would also love to welcome my mayor, our mayor of Oakland, who really actually needs no introduction, and former assembly member, and just champion for the people. And you know, as many of you have read and hear about, Oakland has gone through some times. But we know the beauty of Oakland, and we know we have an adult in the room who's going to lead this city through so many hard times so that we can flourish and be the best city possible. So I'm so proud to have you as my mayor and welcome you back to the Assembly. Barbara Lee.
And finally, Assemblymember Liz Ortega, you are recognized for your guest introduction.
I would also like to welcome our mayor from Oakland, because Barbara Lee has always spoken for me. As someone who grew up in the city of Oakland from the age of 3 years old, who welcomed my parents and me with open arms, it is no doubt that with your leadership, Oakland will continue to be a beautiful city that contributes to the state of California and the country. We welcome you.
Welcome, Mayor Lee. Welcome back to the California Assembly, Mayor Lee. Welcome back. Thank you, members. It's time to move to business on the daily file. We have much to get through today. For reconsideration, file item number 1, this item shall be continued. On to the Assembly third reading file. File items 2 through 210, we're going to be moving in file order today. And we are beginning with file item number 2, ACR 40 by Assemblymember Fong. The clerk will read.
Assembly Concurrent Resolution 40 by Assemblymember Fong and others relative to student financial aid.
Assemblymember Fong, you are recognized.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members. ACR 40 expresses support for immigrant students and reaffirms the state's commitment to ensuring that all students, including undocumented students, have access to financial aid and have the ability to succeed in higher education. Over the last couple of years, there's been a significant decrease in FAFSA applications due to technical issues, but also due to the fear that the federal government may use self-report information by applicants and their parents or spouses for purposes other than education. Disruptions to education due to a lack of aid reduces college completion, student success, economic mobility, and lifetime contributions to California's economy and society. ACR 40 expresses legislature support for immigrant students in California. Furthermore, ACR 40 declares that information shared by students and their families on the FAFSA should not be used for purposes other than financial aid. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Fong. Mr. Fong, do you wish the first roll to be open for co-authors?
Yes, please.
Members, all debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll for co-authors. All members vote who desire to vote. Members, this is for co-authors. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. There are 53 co-authors added. I've never seen anybody vote no on a co-authorship. We're asking for co-authors. There are 53 co-authors added. Without objection, we'll now move on to a voice vote on the resolution. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Now moving on to file item number 3, AB 878 by Assemblymember Kalra. The clerk will read. Just a moment, Mr. Kalra. While we wait, let's knock out a guest introduction here. Madam Majority Leader, you are recognized for your guest introduction.
Good morning. I just want to take the time to introduce the students from Pioneer Elementary School. If you want to stand up and wave, and thank you for being here and enjoying our beautiful capital.
Welcome to the California Assembly. Mr. Kalra, we're going to be passing temporarily on file item number 3. Would you mind coming and speaking with the Chief Clerk? We will pass and retain on file item number 4. Brings us to file item number 5, AB 917 by Assemblymember Avila Farias. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 917 by Assemblymember Avila Farias, an act related to school employees.
Assemblymember Avila Farias, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 917 will ensure that educators and school employees in all school districts and county offices of education have an opportunity to achieve permanent employment status. This bill will require local education agencies to grant permanent status to certified employees in school districts and counties with an average daily attendance of less than 250 and a regional occupancy centers and programs operated by the County Office of Education or joint powers of authority. This is already a requirement for schools with an average daily attendance of more than 250. Due process for teachers plays a critical role in protecting against racial discrimination by requiring fair and impartial procedures for employment decisions. AB 917 is sponsored by the California Teachers Association and will help attract and retain potential educators, provide them with career stability, and diversify California's education workforce. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Avila Farias. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 41, noes 15. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file items 6 through 15. That brings us to file item number 16, AB 985 by Assemblymember Ahrens. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 985 by Assemblymember Ahrens, an act relating to healing arts.
Assemblymember Ahrens, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I'm presenting AB 985, which would help solve the access to safe anesthesia care crisis in California. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ahrens. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 44, noes 1. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file items 17 through 25. Brings us to file. Excuse me, we're going to pass and retain on file items 17 and 18. We're going to pass temporarily on file item 19. We're going to pass and retain on file items 20 through 25. That brings us to file item number 26. Mr. Bryan. AB 7 by Assemblymember Bryan. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 7 by Assemblymember Bryan and others, an act relating to post-secondary education.
Assemblymember Bryan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. AB 7 gives institutions of higher learning the option to account for history, legacies of harm, exclusion, and enslavement in their admissions process. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Bryan. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 42, noes 13. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 27. Brings us to file item 28, also from Mr. Bryan, AB 42. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 42 by Assemblymember Bryan, an act relating to public social services.
Assemblymember Bryan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. Right now, need-based scholarships are not counted against your income classification for CalWORKs and public assistance for students, but merit-based scholarships are. This bill just brings parity between merit and need-based scholarships for our neediest students so that they don't lose their social services while they're attaining their higher education. I respectfully ask for aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Bryan. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 59, noes 0. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 30. We're going to pass and retain on file item 31. Pass and retain on file items 32 through 36. Brings us to file item 37, AB 245 by Assemblymember Gibson. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 245 by Assemblymember Gibson, an act relating to taxation to declare the urgency thereof to take effect immediately.
Assemblymember Gibson, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise to present Assembly Bill 245. It's a straightforward bill providing immediate automatic property tax relief for victims of the Los Angeles wildfire disasters that occurred earlier this year. This bill is sponsored by the Los Angeles County Assessor, Jeffrey Prang. Assembly Bill 45 is a support recommendation. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gibson. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 66, no 0 on the urgency. Ayes 66, no 0 on the measure. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 38. Ms. Wilson, we skipped you on a bill. We're going to come back later. Brings us to file item number 39, AB 255 by Assemblymember Haney. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 255 by Assemblymember Haney and others, an act relating to public health.
Assemblymember Haney, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise to present AB 255, a measure that will align California's housing policy with federal guidelines by recognizing that drug-free recovery housing is consistent with Housing First policy. There are folks right now who know that being as far as possible away from drugs in a community where they can get sober and get the treatment that they need is the best and most effective placement for them. But unfortunately, our Housing First policies don't allow any funding to go to those types of environments. This will allow a community of people who are ready to be fully sober to have housing, peer support, and accountability by allowing up to 25% of state funding to go to drug-free recovery housing. It is a bill that will help to advance our work to get people off the streets and also get them the treatment they need to be successful. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. Assemblymember Hoover, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of AB 255. I just want to thank my colleague for his work on this important bill. Nearly 40% of the people currently living on the streets in California are suffering from drug addiction. It is critical that we are getting them services so that they can get clean and get their lives back on track. I urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Hoover. Assemblymember Leader Gallagher, you are recognized.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise in support of AB 255. And, this is a concept that I think has been worked on for a little while now, and I really appreciate the author, bringing this forward. There is a big need for sober environments, and it's really proven. We've seen some different models, even here in Sacramento. St. John's has a great program. And so opening this up and allowing for these different models, I think, is very important. And so I appreciate the author, and we'll be supporting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Gallagher. Assemblymember DeMaio, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, too, rise in support of AB 255. I want to thank the author for recognizing that Housing First is deeply flawed. And there are some elements that it can work. There's certain clientele that it can work for. But we have to, as a body, take the blinders off and be open about the performance evaluation here. California is uniquely bad when it comes to the issue of homelessness, and Housing First is a big reason why. I know that the author has been very thoughtful about trying to balance different points of view on this. My hope is that this is only the beginning of some of the reforms that we can make in Housing First. And I would urge my colleagues to, again, look at what tools we can give different providers. Because right now we have a variety of rules on the books, notwithstanding this bill, which will make progress on those rules, that prohibit some of our best homeless service providers from doing their work. They're choked off of state and local funds. And I think it's important for us to fund success. And this bill, I think, is a beginning point, but certainly not the end point. So with that, I do encourage us to continue to build upon AB 255's reforms.
Thank you, Assemblymember DeMaio. Seeing and hearing no further debate, Assemblymember Haney, do you wish to close?
Yes, thank you to my colleagues for speaking on that. This is really about having options. Right now, we are restricted from funding options that we know will work for many people who need it. This will allow that flexibility and allow us to also build out the kind of accountability that we need. And with that, respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 72, no 0. The measure passes. We're moving on to file item number 40. That is AB 279 by Assemblymember Patel. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 279 by Assemblymember Patel, enacting the school libraries.
Assemblymember Patel, you are recognized.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise today to present AB 279. K-12 library standards have not been updated since 2010, yet we have seen rapid changes in technology and in society. This bill creates the framework and structure to change these library standards as our state and world change. It received unanimous support in both policy and fiscal committees, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Patel. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 68, noes 1. The measure passes. Going back to Mr. Haney, file item number 41, AB 289. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 289 by Assemblymember Haney and others, enact relating to vehicles and making an appropriation therefore.
Assemblymember Haney, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise to present AB 289, a measure that implements a proven solution to reduce crashes, protect workers, and enhance driver safety. Speeding vehicles pose a deadly threat to construction workers and to drivers on California's highways. In 2023 alone, there were 100 vehicle intrusions on highway construction work zones. While statewide efforts like the presence of California Highway Patrol and active construction zones have helped to deter speeding drivers, these efforts cannot and do not capture all speeding vehicles through active highway construction zones. AB 289 will implement automated speed enforcement in these zones following other states, 16 other states that have shown that this can be an effective tool to save lives. It will be a limited pilot program in the areas where it's most needed, and it has received bipartisan support, and policy committees respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. I'll debate, Assemblymember Jeff Gonzalez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of this bill. I'm also presenting a bill with respect to highway safety, and I thank the author's leadership on this, especially in my district where there's constant construction. The mothers, fathers are working on these streets to make them safe, and I appreciate the author for this leadership, and I encourage my colleagues to rise in support as well.
Thank you, Assemblymember Jeff Gonzalez. Assemblymember Davies, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I rise in support of AB 289 as Vice Chair of the Transportation Committee and as a proud co-author. Highway construction is one of the most dangerous occupations in the country, and speeding in construction zones put both workers and drivers at risk. Research has shown that automated speed enforcement is effective at reducing speeds in construction zones. It also shows to reduce the number of crashes overall, especially crashes with serious injuries and deaths. AB 289 requires warnings and protections for drivers. All violations will be warnings during the first 60 days of the program, and all initial violations up to 15 miles per hour over the speed limit will be warnings. This bill isn't about raising revenue. The construction contractors and workers supporting AB 289 are simply asking drivers to slow down when they see construction zones on your state highway. For those reasons, I respectfully ask an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Davies. Seeing and hearing no further debate, Assemblymember Haney, do you wish to close?
Well, I appreciate all of the bipartisan love this morning. This is a good bill. It'll keep drivers and construction workers safe. It will save lives, and I hope that we can all support it today. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 62, noes 3. The measure passes. We're on to file item 42, AB 291 by Assemblymember Gibson. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 291 by Assemblymember Gibson and others, enact relating to teachers.
Assemblymember Gibson, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Members, Assembly Bill 291, which seeks to establish a credentialing educator apprentice program to address the teacher shortage and the crisis. This bill receives support. I respectfully ask for the aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gibson. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 68, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 43, AB 327 by Assemblymember Ta. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 327 by Assemblymember Ta, an act relating to crimes.
Assemblymember Ta, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Member AB 377 aims to address the recent surge in forward reporting of emergency to provoke a large-scale police response. Known as swatting. Swatting accounts for 64% of violent incidents in our school. I would like to thank the chair of our Public Safety Committee for his collaboration in this bill and ensuring this bill would not apply to minors or first-time offenders. This bill is supported by School District across the state and was unanimously supported in the Public Safety and Appropriation Committee. I respectfully ask for aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ta. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 62, noes 0. The measure passes. File item number 44, AB 340 by Assemblymember Ahrens. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 340 by Assemblymember Ahrens, an act relating to employer-employee relations.
Assemblymember Ahrens, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 340 makes communication between the employee and their union representative confidential. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ahrens. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 51, noes 1. The measure passes. File item 45, AB 341 by Assemblymember Arambula. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 341 by Assemblymember Arambula, an act relating to developmental services.
Assemblymember Arambula, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and member. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities deserve to have access to quality and timely dental care to prevent dental disease. AB 341 would establish the Oral Health for People with Disabilities Technical Assistance Center to provide training and educational materials on the use of alternative methods to provide oral health for people with disabilities. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Arambula. Assemblymember Jeff Gonzalez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a father of a special needs son with severe developmental disabilities, I thank the author for this. Not only is this showing the rest of California that these nuanced type of issues we've missed, but there's more work to be done. I fully support the author on this, and we need to continue to do more for our most vulnerable special needs community. So I urge my colleagues to support as well.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gonzalez. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 70, noes 0. The measure passes. Brings us to file item number 46, AB 356 by Assemblymember Patel. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 356 by Assemblymember Patel and others, an act relating to health care.
Assemblymember Patel, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise today to present AB 356, which convenes key stakeholders to evaluate public healthcare infrastructure in San Diego, with a specific focus on the long-term stability of Palomar Healthcare District. The bill has received no votes, and I've taken amendments to address the concerns of those who were opposed unless amended. I will continue to work with all relevant stakeholders and respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Patel. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 52, noes 3. The measure passes. going to pass and retain on file item 47 and file item 48. Brings us to file item 49, AB 410 by Assemblymember Wilson. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 410 by Assemblymember Wilson and others, and act relating to bots.
Assemblymember Wilson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm pleased to present AB 410. AB 410 updates and strengthens the Bot Disclosure Act by requiring bots to identify themselves as artificial when asked and prohibiting them from misleading users about their identity. Every Californian has the right to know whether they're talking to a person or a machine. AB 410 ensures honesty in online interactions by making bot disclosures a simple, common sense requirement because trust definitely begins with transparency. Thank you. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Wilson. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 68, noes 2. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain. We're going to pass and retain on file items 50, 51, 52. We're going to pass temporarily on file item 53. Brings us to file item 54, AB 476 by Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 476 by Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez and others, and act relating to metal theft.
Assemblymember Mark Gonzalez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to present AB 476, will enhance enforcement against copper wire theft and protect critical infrastructure. AB 476 will do three main things: expand the types of information junk dealers and recyclers must collect, prohibit possession without documentation of additional categories, increase penalties to better reflect the true cost and harm caused to taxpayers. These measures aim to deter copper wire theft, protect public safety, and increase transparency in the scrap metal industry. Copper prices are near historic highs and copper theft is rampant across California, causing devastating financial and public safety impacts. This is not a victimless crime. Cities must often spend more repairing the damage than the scrap value of the stolen copper. Cities like San Jose, Santa Monica, Richmond, Fresno, Los Angeles, including in my own district, are being hit hard. AB 476 is our beacon of hope, a common sense bipartisan step to shine a light on justice, safeguard our neighborhoods, and hold bad actors accountable. By voting yes today, we send a clear message that California stands united. We will protect our public infrastructure, our taxpayers, and each other. Let us move forward together, ensuring no community is left in the dark. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gonzalez. Assemblymember Macedo, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong support and urge my colleagues just how necessary this bill is. In the Central Valley, copper wire theft is running rampant. It's especially hitting our ag folks that my family farm was hit. We had a break-in, they did excessive damage stealing this copper wire that we actually had to move to aluminum wire and posted warnings saying that it's not worth a felony to break into our wells. So thank you so much to the author. This is hurting urban and rural folks alike, and let's request an aye vote and get this over to the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Macedo. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 70, noes 0. The measure passes. That brings us to file item 55, AB 477 by Assemblymember Maritsuchi. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 477 by Assemblymember Maritsuchi and others, and act relating to education finance.
Assemblymember Maritsuchi, you are recognized.
Thank you very much. Members, I am proud to present the Fair Pay for Educators Act. Assembly Bill 477 will set education funding targets with the goal of giving our teachers a 50% pay raise over the next 10 years. And let me tell you why. Our teachers, their wages have not kept up with other college graduates. Over the last 45 years, college graduate salaries have grown 3 times faster than our teachers. Today, a California teacher earns just 76 cents for every dollar that their similarly college-educated peers make. Nearly 2/3 of our college students, our young adults, cite salary, at the low pay, as the top reason why they are not interested in becoming teachers. We all Republicans, Democrats, we all want to make sure that teachers can not only be an attractive profession to attract the best and the brightest, but also to make sure that not only our teachers, but our classified employees, our essential school staff that it takes to run our schools, that they have a fair pay to be able to afford to live in the communities that they live in. Other countries treat teaching, especially as a respective competitive career with pay that is on par with professions like engineers, law, and business. Let's pay our teachers and essential school staff what they deserve. This bill received bipartisan, unanimous support in the Assembly Education Committee. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Maritsuchi. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 63, noes 1. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 56. That brings us to file item 57, AB 485 by Assemblymember Ortega. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 485 by Assemblymember Ortega and others, and act relating to employment.
Assemblymember Ortega, you are recognized.
I am pleased to present AB 485, which helps workers collect their stolen wages. This bill simply says that if you're an employer who steals from workers, the state will not continue to license your business. If you're an employer who complies with the law and you pay those stolen wages back, you can continue business as usual. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ortega. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 43, noes 5. The measure passes. File item 58, AB 487 by the Committee on Insurance as presented by Assemblymember Calderon. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 487 by the Committee on Insurance and act relating to insurance.
Assemblymember Calderon, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to present AB 487, which is the Assembly Insurance Committee's annual omnibus bill that makes non-controversial technical updates to the insurance code. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Calderon. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 69, noes 0. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 59. Brings us to file item 60, AB 573 by Assemblymember Rogers. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 573 by Assemblymember Rogers and others, and act relating to tobacco.
Assemblymember Rogers, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AB 573 makes a modest increase in the tobacco retail license fee. It still is below that of cannabis and alcohol, and it'll better fund enforcement for CDTFA. Currently, only about 11% of all retailers are inspected annually. With that, I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Rogers. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 55, noes 1. The measure passes. File item 61, AB 598 by Assemblymember Gibson. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 598 by Assemblymember Gibson and others, and act relating to school safety.
Assemblymember Gibson, you are recognized.
Mr. Speaker and members, Assembly Bill 598 seeks to establish school mapping technology, K-12 campuses. School mapping technology will allow emergency responders to have access to school layout prior to entering a campus. This bill receives support. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gibson. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 69, noes 0. The measure passes. We're going to pass and retain on file item 6263. That brings us to file item number 64, AB 635 by Assemblymember Ahrens. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 635 by Assemblymember Ahrens and others, an act relating to housing.
Assemblymember Ahrens, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 635 requires the California Department of Housing and Community Development to refer to the Attorney General to take up to the 25 of the most serious, harmful, and economically significant alleged violations of the mobile home residency law. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ahrens. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 47, noes 10. The measure passes. Pass and retain on file item 65. File item 66, AB 651 by Assemblymember Bryan. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 651 by Assemblymember Bryan and others, an act relating to juveniles.
Assemblymember Bryan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. I rise to present AB 651, a family-oriented bill that ensures incarcerated parents can remotely participate in their child's dependency court hearings. Currently, incarcerated parents often waive their right to appear in person because transportation disrupts rehabilitation programs and good time calculations, often pitting attending these hearings versus doing the work necessary to return home to your family to begin with. What this bill allows is for remote participation and utilizes existing state infrastructure that was put in place during the pandemic. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Bryan. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 68, noes 0. The measure passes. That brings us to file item 67, AB 654 by Assemblymember Coloza. Clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 654 by Assemblymember Coloza, an act relating to homelessness.
Assemblymember Coloza, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. AB 654 addresses a gap in our homelessness programs in Los Angeles County by establishing a dedicated telephone system to provide direct assistance to individuals experiencing or at risk of homelessness. In the most recent homeless count, there were over 75,000 people experiencing homelessness in LA County. And so there is a desperate need for a centralized system that is dedicated to helping our most vulnerable and to get direct services. Respectfully ask for my colleagues' vote for AB 654.
Thank you, Assemblymember Coloza. All debate having ceased, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 49, noes 12. The measure passes. Pass and retain on file item 68. Brings us to file item 69, AB 662 by Assemblymember Alvarez. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 662 by Assemblymember Alvarez, an act relating to post-secondary education.
Assemblymember Alvarez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I rise to present Assembly Bill 662 for you today, for your consideration today. I'd like to begin by noting that this is one of the most important issues that I'm working on. This is one of the issues that I was elected to by the community of Assembly District 80, and I appreciate the support I received on this issue over the last couple of years, and I hope to receive your support today. AB 662 takes a critical step toward expanding access to higher education and more opportunities for students in the district that I represent. AB 662 seeks to address long-standing educational inequities in the South San Diego County region, which I represent, by exploring the creation of a mixed-use, intersegmental institution of higher education in the city of Chula Vista. Chula Vista is the second largest in San Diego County, the second largest city in San Diego County, with a population of over 250,000 people. It is the largest city in California without a public university institution offering baccalaureate degree programs to the students and families. Well over 500,000 people in this region are without access and what we commonly refer to as a college desert. Many of you are familiar with the Master Plan for Higher Education. The Master Plan, unfortunately, did not contemplate situations like these. For too long, the absence of a four-year public institution has limited educational and economic opportunities that come with it for the families that I represent. The distance, costs, and logistical burdens associated with attending universities outside the region have discouraged many from pursuing or completing a college degree, deepening existing inequities in higher education attainment and workforce readiness for the people that I represent. For this reason, we have embarked on an ambitious project, which envisions a binational, multi-institutional hub for higher education of innovation and collaboration between the University of California, the California State University System, and our California community colleges. So Assembly Bill 662 builds on this vision by establishing the South County Higher Education Task Force, a collaborative body that will bring together representatives from those institutions that I just mentioned, the City of Chula Vista, and other stakeholders to evaluate the governance model, funding mechanism, and any changes that are needed in law to bring such an institution to life. Specifically, the task force will be asked to assess intersegmental collaboration and governance structures, identify sustainable funding sources for development and operations, recommending legislative solutions to remove barriers, and submitting a comprehensive report to the legislature in order to achieve this mission. This legislation represents an important step along the way of reimagining how we expand access to public education, certainly in my region that's underserved, but perhaps in yours as well. It offers a thoughtful and inclusive process that will help guide long-term solutions to one of the most pressing equity challenges in California's higher education landscape, and again, something that the master plan has missed. So for that reason, I respectfully urge your support of Assembly Bill 662, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you about this very important project for my district.
Thank you, Assemblymember Alvarez. Seeing and hearing no further debate, clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes, ayes 67, noes 0. Measure passes.